Hello everyone, I'm Sir Runner. I'm one of the developers behind the Third Age. I want to take a little bit of time today to talk about the changes for the upcoming version of the mod. Um, I think when you just even boot it up, you're going to go ahead and see this restructured menu here. Like we got it going vertical instead of the way that it was horizontal, like in a lot of the standard Victoria 2 things. I was also inspired by what they've done in Age of Enlightenment with the tutorial to go ahead and change it into a sort of, hey, here's the countries that have flavor and here's the amount. So I thought, hey, that'd be cool to turn that into a version information page. That's what we did here. So we got the highlights, I have the changelog, as well as a list of recommended realms. I think these are pretty self-explanatory. Legacy flavor is just the, hey, Gondor has a whole bunch of flavor. May or may not work because this was stuff written 3 years ago for a different version of the mod for a different set of mechanics. If it does work, it's not going to be using any of the new cool stuff, which is unfortunate, but it's on the list of things that needs to get reworked, so we'll get to it eventually. Kind of in tandem with that, we went ahead and removed the old list of recommended realms just because it's one of those things that it's no longer needed. Now that we're in the country selection screen, you'll note that we changed the focus from being on Gondor into this region known as Gramavold. And so like this is where all the new flavor is. The Barding Realm has the lion's share of it, but the Amav clan, as well as these Riverman miners, each have a little bit of their own. And we also went ahead and updated the description of the bookmark as well. So if we go ahead and we pop into the Barding Realm here, first things first, the version 3 of the map that we've been working on for, I think it's a year, maybe a year and a half, that went ahead and got finished up, which does mean that every province does have at least a regional image associated with it, if not its own unique image. We also went ahead and implemented seasons and weather. Weather changes every week. Seasons change, every 3 months, and the season does have different effects depending on where you are in the world. Note that winter here is a minus 3.5 to the supply limit. If we go over to Gondor here, that winter has minus 2.5. Then we also have this province wealth. So this is the idea behind this is to take away the economic effects of war exhaustion and put it on a province level. So province wealth is a scale of -5 to +5, and things like battles being fought or the enemy occupying a province will decrease it. And then there's going to be flavor, and then just a generic, hey, do you want to invest in this province event that pops up to increase it. When it's negative, it'll slowly work its way back up to 0, but you need specific interactions in order to increase it from 0 up to higher. We also went ahead and added some tribal pops in here. So tribal pops, these are pops that they literally do not help your realm in any sense. They don't work in the RGO or in factories. You can't be recruited. They don't do, literally they do nothing. And so the entire idea of this is you conquer new land that is not of your accepted culture. The existing soldiers there will convert to tribals. And while these tribals are non-militant, they'll start promoting to laborers. When they become militant, you're going to get an event that kills off some of them and decreases their militancy down to 0. And then, the cycle starts again where they're starting to promote, and then all of a sudden they get militant, you get an event, goes back down to 0, and the cycle repeats. From here, we also went ahead and added the ability to add organizations. So the idea behind this is to add things that kind of supersede the built-in diplomacy mechanics that the engine itself runs. So we have the Alliance of Dwarves and Men as the first one here, and so members are going to go ahead and have this this modifier on the organizations side, and then they're going to go ahead and have access to the menu here. So the menu, it has a set of options that are going to change depending on the game state, which I'll go ahead and show later. But also, if you just hover over this and see the description, it'll tell you what the possible options are and what you need to do in order to unlock them. Also, in terms of the decisions, we went ahead and updated the graphics, so it is possible to have what I like to call major decisions. But it's basically just decisions where the image stretches across the entire line, and then just the decisions in general can have a, like, hey, this is specifically associated with the Barding Realm, or hey, this is specifically associated with Bard, just some extra graphical indications to help you see, oh, I got to get this done before Bard dies, that sort of thing. In terms of new RGOs, we did go ahead and find an issue in terms of how the engine has pops by goods. Basically, if they have the money to buy all their goods, they're going to start buying their luxury needs and then their everyday, followed by their life need. So if any good is shared between those and the good runs out on the market, they are going to buy their luxury stuff first before their everyday. So we went ahead and added in literature as a sort of a luxury paper, and then we added back in luxury furniture and luxury clothes. And that's pretty much all of the mechanical stuff. We also went ahead and added a claim system, but I'll save that until we go check out some stuff over on the Amav clan side. So if we were to go ahead and let's go ahead and form some alliances here, and then we'll just go ahead and let it play. So you'll go ahead and get these like quote day one events. So the standard, hey, here's the people who've worked on the mod sort of thing, and that pops you into the railroading event. So this uses Bob Bobbington's dynamic localization. Basically, what that means is that this event text is going to go ahead and update as based upon what country you're playing as in this case. So right now, only the Barding Realm and Erebor are supported, but as more flavor gets added, it's one of those things where it's more and more are going to work with it. We also went ahead and updated these country descriptions to go ahead and also use dynamic localization. So like this is going to go ahead and change depending on the game state. So note here, we are currently trading with one realm. We're going to go ahead and see this get updated when I make some alliances and just let the month tick go over, because it takes, just with how I have it set up, in order to help prevent lag, this count will only increases on a month tick. And then finally, we also did a similar thing here with the leaders as well. So if we just go ahead and we just click through, and then we need to go ahead and propose trade agreements. And we let it get over a month tick here, and we go back into the decision, not decision, but the event, and go back to the unique bonuses. We'll see this is increased to 3 realms. And as promised, let's go back into the Alliance of Men and Dwarves. Dwarves and Men, I flip that around my head all the time. You'll go ahead and see that this has actually added a new option because we have a realm that we can now invite. And so like we can go ahead and click through it and be like, oh, we can invite the River Run into the Alliance. So let's go ahead and start that process. And so I don't want to go ahead and really spoil any flavor, but Barding Realm, their entire flavor is gaining control of Gramavold in its entirety and accept the Northmen as a sort of basis to go reconquer, or rather assert control over Rovanian. The Rivermen, they're trying to prevent the Barding Realm. They're from conquering them, as well as the Amav clan, and then like they can unite and then go into Rovanian from there. And then the Amav clan come in as Easterling conquerors, trying to conquer all of Gramavold under their own banner. So I did promise there's one more thing on the mechanical side to check out, and that is the claim system. So if we go over to here, went ahead and just was doing a little bit of a play test, just to make sure we could show this off. But the claim system, it's one of those things where since it is a mechanic that's already built off the cores, we would really need to be able to edit the engine in order to have it be generic. But we can build it into the existing flavor pretty easily, and that's the way it's going to be moving forward. So unfortunately, it's not going to be a generic way. Like I said, like just you can justify a claim. At that point, that's just acquire state, if you ask me. But here, you know, like you can go ahead and get the claims, and so the claims go ahead and they give you the war goal, but they don't give you any of the other bonuses associated with cores. So if we just go ahead and we click this, this event is what actually goes ahead and gives you the CB. And if we just take a look at the Barding Realm, we can acquire a whole bunch of claim states from them in a specific war. That's all of the major changes without actually going into detail in terms of the flavor. I want to thank you for your time, everyone. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead, let me know in the comments, or go ahead and join the Discord if you aren't there already, and just put in the general chat. You know, I'll do my best to go ahead and check it all out and respond to you guys. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a good one.